Hi guys, so another name for the Tories is the Conservative Party, but their actual proper title is the Conservative and Unionist Party. Yes, Unionist Party. That means, at least on paper, they want to defend the Union. Now, Northern Ireland is part of the Union, so you would imagine members of the Conservative and Unionist Party would understand how Northern Ireland operates. Look, I'm not expecting them to be experts, but you would expect them to know where Sinn Féin, a party in Northern Ireland, stands on the Northern Ireland Protocol. Well, here Matt Vickers MP appeared on the Iain Dale LBC show, undermining the Unionist part of the Conservative and Unionist Party. Have a listen.
When you look at the fact that in the elections on Thursday, a majority of AMs elected to Stormont support the Northern Ireland Protocol, and then you have the DUP saying, well, we don't care about that, we're not going to nominate a First Minister until you sort it out, Boris Johnson. Well, it's not within his gift to sort it out in the sense that the EU have to agree to whatever he's proposing, and they're clearly not going to do that.
Well, I think, do you know what? The DUP are making their voice heard about a situation that is entirely unacceptable to them and entirely unacceptable to the people of Northern Ireland. And I don't think that message is just for Boris.
That is simply not true. When you, as I said, the majority of AMs support the Northern Ireland Protocol. There was a report out today that we heard from Neil Richmond, an Irish Member of Parliament, which says that the Northern Ireland economy is booming like never before. It's outperforming the rest of the UK. So what's not to like? And a lot of business in Northern Ireland supports the protocol.
It's deemed unacceptable by
some.
But I would
not
say
a
the
majority.
electorate spoke on that, and I think that...
Well, the electorate did speak on that. What part of that don't you get?
Well, I completely disagree with it. I think the electorate spoke, put Sinn Féin in power. The reason that occurred was partly because of people's objections to the protocol.
This guy obviously has no understanding of Northern Ireland politics and no understanding of Sinn Féin. The electorate put Sinn Féin in power because of opposition to the protocol. Sinn Féin are supportive of the protocol. Sinn Féin want the protocol implemented. Sinn Féin have said, look, the protocol is not perfect, but it needs to be implemented. It's an agreement between the European Union and the UK government to protect the Good Friday Agreement, something that Sinn Féin supports. Now, maybe Matt Vickers doesn't understand the Northern Ireland Protocol, he doesn't understand the Good Friday Agreement, obviously he doesn't understand Sinn Féin, but to say that Sinn Féin were elected in order to get rid of the protocol, once again, these people are so disconnected from Northern Ireland politics. How can they be members of the Conservative and Unionist Party?
If you add up the votes of Sinn Féin, all the nationalist parties plus the Alliance, they outnumber the votes of the DUP, the UUP and TUV. Is that not the case?
You believe that the protocol is acceptable in its current form?
I'm not giving my opinion.
Yeah, good. I think we agree to disagree.
Well,
this guy... See, the problem here with Conservative members of Parliament, English Conservative members of Parliament, is they have no understanding of Northern Ireland. But what they do is when they go on shows like this, they're given talking points. The protocol is not working. Okay, that's my talking point. The DUP don't want to go into government with Sinn Féin. That's the other talking point. So I have to, and of course the other talking point is the EU is inflexible. That's all these people know. They don't know anything about Northern Ireland. They don't know about the election result. They don't know about Sinn Féin. They don't know about the DUP. All they have is they're briefed. Probably took about 2 minutes to brief them. Northern Ireland, and I was speaking to Phil from A Different Bias about, I don't know if we mentioned it before or during the stream on Sunday, but he made a wonderful point that most of these politicians, and probably even the Northern Ireland Secretary, would not be able to point out Northern Ireland on a map. If you showed these politicians, the Tories, a map of Ireland with all the counties there, they would not be able to identify the 6 counties in Northern Ireland. Even the Northern Ireland Secretary of State, because it's not in their interest. They don't care about Northern Ireland. They've never cared about Northern Ireland. But when it comes to the talking points, the Brexiteer talking points, it's always, yes, the EU is inflexible. I don't know what that actually means, but I've been told by Tory party HQ to say that the EU is inflexible. The DUP are right because I think they're on our side in some way, or they used to be on our side. Well, we're on their side now. And Brexit is not the problem. The protocol is the problem. And the protocol needs to be scrapped because, well, Tory party HQ told me to say that. I have no understanding of the protocol or Northern Ireland, but that's what my job is, just to regurgitate these talking points. And when he's faced with the facts, his response is, well, that's your opinion.
I don't need you to agree or disagree with me. I'm not offering an opinion. All I'm telling you is that the votes cast in those elections showed that the Northern Ireland people, the majority of them, agreed with parties that support the protocol. That is not an opinion, that's a fact.
Well, that is a perspective and an interpretation of that result. I think it is entirely unacceptable to the people.
The people of Northern Ireland did not support Brexit. The people of Northern Ireland voted to remain, but that was ignored, because Boris Johnson wanted his Brexit. And the Brexiteers in the Conservative Party wanted their Brexit. The people of Northern Ireland voted at the last election for parties, a majority for parties that support the protocol. And this politician here, who's a member of the government, the ruling government, the party ruling the government, I should say, is dismissing the election result. Obviously because he doesn't understand it. Not because he's actually disagreeing with it, but because he doesn't understand it. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.